The Ghana Law School, it was seriously opposed by them. But now they have captured it and it's their property. We have really more men, more women in the public tribunal those days. And he still reminds me of how I was able to overcome him in one of his cases. He was a very excellent prosecutor. He became the director of public prosecutors in the Attorney General's Department. And that was the position he moved for to become a justice. Truly, these are some of the iconic figures that we had globally. He did a lot of things globally, but they are not recognized. And these were the people who, in the Consultative Assembly, with this gentleman, drafted the 1992 Constitution. As of today, he's still a senior lecturer at the Ghana Law School at the age of 90. Solid. That is a solid member of the NDC. I'm just giving you some of this for you to be sure that that is the right place to belong to. That is the party that is the greatest in this country. Never allow anybody to take away that glory from you, that pride, that leadership. And as I keep on telling them, we lead, they follow. And all what they are doing now in politics, we have led the way for them to follow. And so you realize that even though they made Ghanaians to believe that the 1992 Constitution was written by riffraffs, they themselves kept on praising the 1992 Constitution. Because the earlier constitutions were written by their fathers. The 1969 Constitution was chaired by the father of the current president, who was also a member of the Burns Constitution, which was described by Kwame Nkrumah as what? Bogus and fraudulent. You know, but we have come to put in a constitution that has anchored our democracy for 32 years now. What their parents did lasted 27 months each. Whether it's a 69 or the 79. 27. Ours have lasted 32 years. Who is better? The refracts are better. The hairdressers are better. The Makolo women are better. The veranda boys and girls are better. Yes. That's where we belong to. I don't know whoever gave that kind of education to Ghanaians. Just because somebody says that I'm a professor, so I'm more intelligent than you. Meanwhile, you read that our great-grandfathers didn't go through that formal education, but they had more wisdom than us. So what kind of education are we undergoing? That is what is holding Ghana from development. The mindset. That is the challenge. And we say we're going to reset Ghana, we have to reset the mindset. We are told to push the ones who climb good trees. That push certainly motivates others. And I believe this presentation will do the same. and more in and beyond the National Democratic Congress. This great honor you have bestowed on me to appreciate my journey so far will encourage others after me to emulate the goodness of leadership when it matters most. Please, I want to emphasize this point of eschewing fear from your lives. It's a debilitating force. Once you entertain fear in your life, you have done away with more than half of your potential. There is nobody in the world better than you. You are created unique. Nobody else has those qualities better than you. And so sometimes, I'm saying this because in my leadership, I've had to meet a lot of struggles with some of our leaders. There are some things we want to do, and they say, no. If you do this because of this, don't have to do it. No. If you have in your conscience that what you are going to do is good, is right, and it will inure to the benefit of the people, please, go ahead and do it. The turnaround started, if you all recall, when the EC wanted to bring an instrument to Parliament. And that instrument had the idea of creating more constituencies. And there was confusion. How could it be prevented? It was brought to Parliament for pre-laying. Our committee was chaired by one of our members. And he is a very renowned, brilliant lawyer, Honorable Dr. Dominic Ayine. If you go through the law, there's nothing you could do about it. And so he was held there, and our party had serious challenges with it. I remember how I was called as the speaker to see what to do about it. And that debate was not easy. And if you recall it, I came out with a statement where I said there was no way, looking at our constitution, I could direct or control the functions of the Electoral Commission. And so they are ready, they want to bring it. Well, please, you are at liberty to bring it to Parliament. But by the principle of separation of powers, there's no way any other person also could dictate to us and control Parliament as to how we should pass that legislation. And so people were held up. Yes, it was here. And by our procedure, it's the speaker who has to admit businesses to the House. And usually I do it by a minute to the clerk that this business has been admitted by me and it should be processed for presentation to the House. So I'm the gatekeeper. It was not admitted. And if it is not admitted, it cannot be processed and it cannot appear before the business committee to be scheduled for presentation to Parliament for its deliberations and passage. And that ended that thing. That was the first. And then the others followed. And I can tell you this, because when I'm speaking the truth, I have nothing to fear. If you ask me tomorrow that I said, yes, I said it. The decision of the Supreme Court just followed the position I took before even they delivered their decision. To become a member of parliament, you have to be elected by the voter. And you have to be declared by the Electoral Commission. But you have to be sworn in by the Speaker. Until you are sworn in by the Speaker, you remain MP elect. So I was very clear in my mind that some of those re-collation and re-declaration were completely null and void ab initio. They were unknown to the law. And so they were not properly so-called MPs elect and not qualified to be sworn in by me. My clerk is here. We had those discussions. When I told them, they were all surprised. I said, yes, I'm the gatekeeper. The right thing must be done for us to be able to reset Ghana. And so this recognition, I tell you, is going to do more than what I have done. I want to take this opportunity to highly commend all members of Pro Forum for the unwavering belief, commitment, and tireless investment in facilitating the return of the NDC to power. As my communication boss just told you, I was very clear in my mind that if we hadn't given them a resounding thrashing, there would have been a serious contest as to who won, and they would not have been prepared to hand over power to any person, as they told us. And I learned this in 2001, when we first went into opposition. And the veteran Honorable Joseph Henry Mensah, J.H. Mensah, told the world that by the time they finish prosecuting and imprisoning the leaders of NDC, there will be no party called NDC. And that was the time I challenged him. I was minority leader. He was then leader of government business. And that was the first point I gave them. That you learned nothing. You people are only copy clerks. That term you took from Osajefu Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, when he was made leader of government business in 1952. And now, look at you. 2001, you have taken that term as leader of government business. When in Parliament, we are using the term minority and majority. We are not using the term government and opposition. That is what is used in the United Kingdom. And that's why you have leader of government business. Because it's government, and then you have opposition. And so you have one side sitting on benches. That's why you have the term backbenchers, because they are sitting on benches. Then the other side, to the right, another to the left. And that's where you have the term cross-carpeting. Because you have to go to the other side, there's a carpet in between. And so you have to cross that carpet to go to the other side. That's where the word came from, cross-carpeting. And so, even though we are not operating that system, the only thing that they've learned, and you can, my friends, my brothers, they are chimps, you know, we eat dogs together, so. They are my brothers, they are my sisters, and as I told you, that's where we enjoy together. And as one of their councils, they are chim chambers, where, when you are presenting them in court, you go from the district court to the Supreme Court, or else they won't give up. Oh yes, when you are doing a case for an achim, you don't give up. You start from the district court, you have to go to the Supreme Court. So I had a lot of work to do in those days, and I really moved with them. Very good people who took me as just a junior, and I rose up to become a partner in that Achim Chambers before leading our colleagues to establish the Law Trust Company. I was the senior most of that team, the 2 years senior to Lara Jete and the Chichu Opoku. So we established that firm. It's still operating nicely there. And so I knew them very, very well, and I managed to destroy J.H. Mensah. So he was immediately reshuffled. Because I used those terms, and he couldn't operate again. And they had to bring in Papa, Owusu, and Kuma. And we had some debates. It didn't also last. And they brought in Felix Owusu Ajapon, who was called the great leader. He couldn't also last. And then they brought Honorable Abraham Osei Edu. All this faced me, and I was there as the Northern Star for 8 years. So, this boy is not today's Bagbin. I want to highly commend all of you, really. You have done very, very, very well. And I've followed your efforts and the sacrifices that you have all made for us to reach this far. Your efforts, your strategic guidance, and your unyielding support have played an indispensable role in this monumental achievement. You have been one of the backbones of our party's resurgence. And for that, we owe you a great debt of appreciation. And I want to thank you for your faith, your dedication, and hard work. Faith in the great NDC party. That is the only party that can liberate and develop Ghana. Let me just reflect a bit on the challenges we faced in the 8th Parliament. More importantly, how we were able to navigate the intricacies of a hung parliament. The numerous complexities that confronted us. Here, the culture of governance knew nothing but majority and minority. And there was the cliche, the minority will have its say, but the majority will have its way. So the rules of the game, which we refer to as the standing orders, were crafted that way. It was very easy to take decisions. As we used to say when we were in the minority, we used to win the debate, but we lost the votes. And in fact, the various ambassadors that came to listen to the debate will often come to my office to say that, well, you've won the debate, but you've lost the vote. And that is what was known in Ghana. And here we are now, no majority party and no minority party. Co-equal parties in parliament. With one person who had rebelled against his party, and that stone was rejected, now became the cornerstone of the party. And therefore, I had to give a ruling where I refer to as a majority group. Our party didn't like the term majority group. But people kept on saying majority party. I never said majority party. I said majority group. And because of that one person, they now had more than our party that had 137. But most of the times, they are not in parliament. The nature of governance, to start with, there is no way that you can be a minister of state and be in your ministry and at the same time be on the floor of parliament. It's not possible. Or be in the US and also be in Ghana. Or you are chasing activities in a constituency or in a region, and there's something being debated in parliament. There's no way you can vote. So we have the government agenda so much imperiled. And here I was a strong member of the party not in government. And I am elected the speaker. And by culture and practice, I'm to be impartial, not neutral. Impartial, not neutral. I learned that from the Right Honorable Peter Alajete. So it wasn't easy at all. And I know the disagreement I had from my party. But I stuck to my gun because I was in the kitchen. You are all seeing from outside. We had to be sure that we maintained peace and harmony. We had to be sure that there was a semblance of governance going on. But we have to strategize to make sure that we get a better government in place. And I think that with your help, we have succeeded in doing that. It was a time that really tested our democratic principles and our commitment to service. As Speaker, it was my responsibility to ensure that the voices of all Ghanaians were heard, that debates were fair, and that every member had the opportunity to contribute meaningfully to the decision-making of the House. So I had to quickly get the parliamentary service with a technical team to change the rules. And we did a brand new standing orders for Ghana, which is applauded globally. In fact, the Parliament of Canada had to write to us to send a team to come and present our rules to them. And they took copies and they are working on it. And so in the new standing orders, we've created so many opportunities and committees to reach out to all the areas of governance. So now we have Human Rights Committee, now you have Backbenchers Committee, now you have Private Members Committee, now you have a committee on the economy. You have a committee on intelligence, security and intelligence, not defense and interior. Security on intelligence. So whatever they spend in the area of intelligence, Parliament should know. If they swear the oath, the members will also swear the oath. But we must know how that money was spent, because it is your money. It's not for anybody to use it as a conduit of the word I won't use. But they use it, even though they say we used to create and loot. They didn't create, but they were looting. And so we had all these challenges,
quick, the videos.
And we had to rectify it. We have succeeded in doing so. As a result of that, and some of the things I did from conference to conference internationally. In fact, the questions that I always expected anywhere I went was, oh, we heard that in your parliament you have equal numbers. I said, yes. It's not only the parties, even the women. It was 20-20. Yes. And that's what we had. And we had many as 123 fresh faces in parliament. And that is a new parliament altogether. If you added the second term MPs, that would have been an overwhelming 2/3 that were all fresh. And that place is a different school. Parliament is a completely different school. You have to be taken through the ABC. And that is why sometimes when professors come, they find it difficult to settle in. This is notice to some professors. This is notice to some professors. Because they are always my friends and they come to me and say, I just don't understand why. I say, well, that's the game. You have to learn it. We managed to do that, and I happened to have been the first in the history of this country to be elected to the position of president of Commonwealth Parliamentary Association International. And this was done in the Parliament of Canada, when about 182 parliaments in the Commonwealth met, and I was elected. Through that, I managed to bring the conference to Ghana. So we held the 66th conference in the International Conference Center here, last year, 2023. And that was voted the best ever organized conference in recent times. And so this year, I handed over to the Speaker of the Parliament of New South Wales in Australia. And then I took over the presidency of a newly formed association, the Conference of Speakers and Presidents of all African legislatures, coming from Arab world, through the Anglophone, to the Francophone, to the Lusophone. All the parliaments in Africa, we now have one body, umbrella body, like the NDC umbrella, you know. We've come together to make sure that we anchor our presidents and link them to the people, so that the inputs from the people are factored into whatever decision they take, even at the AU. And so in crafting the Constitution, which was done under my leadership in my secretariat and the parliamentary service here in Ghana, we factored in the clauses of the Constitutive Act of the African Union. And I called a conference here, and they gathered here this year, and I chaired it for 2 days and got their approval, and I was re-elected for a term of 3 years as the president of the IPC. So in spite of those challenges, and that is a truism, challenges are actually opportunities. And so those challenges created the opportunity for Africa, and Ghana in particular, to take its rightful place again in the Committee of Nations. And through the ingenuity and hard work of our members, like the member of parliament for Medina, that is why I didn't understand why people were contesting him. Yes, Honorable Francis Xavier Kojo Sosu, through his initiative, we were able to pass a number of private members' bills. And it is those bills that this government, including His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, took to the United Nations to argue for us to be given a position in the Human Rights Council of the United Nations. And yet, when he came back, he wrote to us that he was not going to assent to some of those bills. He personally called the MP to send him soft copies from his phone for him to use for arguments. And I went to some of the conferences of lawyers and juries, plus members of parliament, as to how we managed to pass to eliminate the death penalty, which is one global challenge. It's only America who is refusing to listen, but many countries have come on board because of the imperfections of the justice system. So many people, so many ignorant people have been convicted and sentenced to death and executed, when later on they discovered that it was done in error. So we've done so much, and Ghana has been brought up. It's now time for us, as we have pledged and promised the people, to reset Ghana, to actually actualize it. It's important for me to mention this. Being a speaker from the opposition party presented its own unique hurdles. But I was guided by the principle of patriotism, fairness, and justice. I endeavored to maintain an environment of respect and collaboration, qualities that I believe are essential for the health of our democracy. Together, we managed to address critical issues despite our differences, and I'm proud of the moments we've shared in the pursuit of our national interests. Ghana first is the goal. Your president, in privacy, has always been in touch with me. And from time to time, we've had some discussions. And I was so happy that I was the first to be invited to have a conversation with you at the party headquarters. As a committed member, I want to assure you that the Pro Forum will continue to grow from strength to strength, and we will ensure that in government, not just in opposition, in government, you are given the rightful role to play in our promise to reset Ghana. Now, as we bask in the glory of our decisive victory in the recent elections, we celebrate more than just an election result. We celebrate the resilience and perseverance of our party and democracy. After 8 difficult years in opposition, under a shocking one-man rule, with only a driver mate, as we are now made to believe, we bounce back stronger and better. The absolute majority we now possess in the next parliament does not merely reflect the confidence of the Ghanaian people in the party, but it underscores their yearning for change, for progress, and their trust in the party's promise to reset Ghana. And Ghana, we must reset. We cannot do that just in 4 years. We will make tremendous gains in 4 years. But we need more than that. And it behoves on all of us in what we say, in what we do, in our attitudes, in our conduct, to let Ghanaians know that there is no other party better than the NDC. So as we transition into this new chapter, I urge the Pro Forum to remain an integral force within the incoming NDC government. The economic challenges inherited from the outgoing administration will be considerable. In fact, many of you don't know how deep the hole is. And if we are to succeed in reversing these trends, it will demand the utmost commitment and concerted efforts of professionals like you. Your insights, professionalism, dedication, and ability to mobilize support to reset Ghana will be critical as we work together to breathe new life into our economy, our governance, our institutions, particularly the judiciary. Very, very important for you to play. Whether you are given space or not, go for that space. Please, in a large family, particularly in polygamous marriages, you have so many children. When there is an opportunity, the children from the other mothers will be telling you, there's no space for you. It's only the children from your mother who will say, please, also struggle to find space. And that is how a great party like NDC is. So don't just go and sit down and think that somebody will just give you the opportunity. I'm telling you from experience. When they say there's no space or no opportunity, please, you are there. Call your colleague and say, please struggle in. There you can find space. Are we together? Yes. We need to engender and foster hope in all citizens. We must harness the inputs and social capital of all those who made it possible for us to have this resounding victory to be able to deliver the promise. There's no doubt that others supported us to win this election. It was not only NDC members. We need to convince them to become members. And the only way we can do that is to give them that hope. To let them know that this is the place they belong. And so, you recall what our longest serving General Secretary used to say. That is Honorable Hudi Yahaya. He says the NDC is a market truck. It's never full. The market truck is never full. You always get space in it. And so as you go and others even jump out, many more what will enter. And I've seen some who jumped out now making strenuous efforts. Let's welcome them. At ceremonial events like these, it is usual to admire and harmlessly envy the glam and glamour of the subject and office being honored. What we fail to see in such moments are the scars, fears, and hindrances that come with service in such capacities. I must admit, it has been tough. And what you celebrate today would not have been possible without the help of diligent and hard-working members of Parliament and staff of the Parliamentary Service. They took it upon themselves to ensure that I had a successful term of office. The obstructionists were many. The against for were plenty, really, and very strong. But we surmounted all. And I'm sure I did that with your inspiration, your motivation, and your support. So I share this honor with all of you. My beloved brethren and sisters of Pro Forum, I am humbled and sincerely grateful for the honor. I want to wish you the very best in your endeavors, and assure you that I will continue to be a worthy ambassador wherever I go, an ambassador of Pro Forum, not just NDC. And I also want to assure you that I will still remain a beacon of hope for all elites, professionals in any area of profession, but more importantly, in the politics of Ghana. I thank you so much for the honor, and may the good Lord continue to bless you all. I thank you.
Let's keep clapping, let's keep clapping, let's keep clapping, let's keep clapping. Has a long way to go, but has come to stay. Revolution has a long way to go, but has come. Okay, our the revolution has come to stay. Revolution has a long way to go. Hey! Hey! Mr. Speaker has come to stay. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, all too soon, we're almost at the end of this afternoon ceremony. But before we have the vote of thanks, let me announce that the Right Honorable Speaker has arranged some very sumptuous snack for you outside. He knows that you're going to be very excited. So when we are done, you will pick, I think when we are done, we would all go down. Everybody will go down. It's going to be a bit chaotic. Okay. If we are able to pick it, you pick it before you go down. If not, all of us will go down, take a group photo with the Right Honorable Speaker, and then you come back and pick up whatever it is that. Let me also announce that during the course of the program, we have a representative from Panama's Parliament. Yes. And we will have that event from here. But let me announce that the reason they have sent someone all the way from Panama is to come and honor the Right Honorable Speaker. And so at the appropriate time, I'll be announcing that rep and the nature of the award that he has been sent to deliver on behalf of the Speaker of Parliament of Panama. At this point, I would want to invite Professor. Okay. Professor Benedicta to give us the vote of thanks. Let's show some love. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, there's a song. It's too late.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm deeply honored to be called to give the vote of thanks for this very memorable occasion. The Right Honorable Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. I want to first of all thank the Almighty God for the gift of life, and most especially for rescuing this nation for us. I have always said, I know the angels will come down and vote for the NDC and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and all our representatives. And indeed, the angels descended. So I want to thank God for that. And I want to also thank, secondly, our Right Honorable Speaker for honoring our invitation and accepting this citation. We are so grateful, Honorable Speaker, for that. I would want to also thank leadership of Pro Forum for this thought. Normally, people would want to honor the dead, which is, we are so used to it. We have a lot of heroes, but normally when a person passes on, that's when we honor the person. But I'm so grateful that leadership of Pro Forum indeed thought to honor this great man, the number 3 in the country. I would want to also thank the media men and women here. I want to thank the office of the speaker for arranging this program. And to all those who travel far and near, we are so grateful for honoring this invitation. It couldn't have been successful without you. The media men, we are so grateful for your presence. And to all those, the security men, all those that supported this program to be successful, we are saying we are indebted to you. We are so grateful. And I want to use this opportunity to once again wish all of us a Merry Christmas and a happy and a successful New Year. And to wish everyone a safe journey back to our various destinations. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. God bless you.
It's a professorial vote of thanks. Thank you so much, Prof. Let's invite Sheikh Rashid to give us the closing prayer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. As you know, we started this program by committing everything in the hand of our Lord. So also we are going to do by closing. Let me first of all pray for wisdom and direction for our newly elected President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Also, we are praying for wisdom for his soon-to-be selected ministers, the kind of wisdom that he will need, that they will also need to bring about the kind of resetting that Ghana will need. We are praying for that wisdom for them. We're also praying for our soon-to-be sworn-in parliament, the kind of wisdom that they will need to support His Excellency John Mahama to reset Ghana for us. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
We started with a patriotic song. We're going to end with a patriotic song. Let's all rise as we sing Yenare Assassini for the last time. If thank you very much. There will be, can I invite the other executives to join Mr. Speaker and the other dignitaries up here, whilst the rest of us will move out and prepare ourselves down there before the Speaker joins us for the photograph. The global executives, kindly come this way. We'll have one picture here before we go down. So as you go, just pick your snack and then you can proceed.
Bro, I have a protest. President, you can join. Peter, how about me? Don't forget my. Sure.
Oh, yes.
I'm telling you. You refuse.
Oh!
He said shake. It's not. So I thought. So if I said shake, I was talking to you. You did not listen to me. You did not.
No worry,
No, it's a process. It's a serious process. I will tell you why.
I remember you.
Peter.
Said I'm sorry.
Peter.
It's too late. Said I'm sorry.